feedback have you been getting from producers about the new marketing year ahead at events like this? What's their
Well, most people recognize that this is an opportunity. They also recognize, as we do, that there are challenges. Having said that, the marketplace is there. There's still that tremendous appetite for Canadian wheat, durum, and barley out there in the rest of the world, as well as domestically. So we know that we're going to continue to sell the product. Now farmers will have the option to pick the time, the place, and the price of their choosing.
Were you optimistic after your meeting with the wheat board that the wheat board can kind of put something together?
Oh, absolutely. We've had meetings all along talking about the potential of a voluntary board. They still have that Rolodex of contacts around the world. They still have some great salesmen in some of the countries around the world, as well as access to that top quality Canadian product. So the potential is there, the opportunity is there, but of course they'll face some challenges too, proving to farmers that they can put more money on their bottom line.
Are you still confident this full transition in terms of marketing choice can happen by August 1st?
Absolutely. That's the right time to do it. It's the start of the next crop year. Farmers are making their plans already. Some have put inputs in last fall, knowing that they're hoping that this was coming. So we'll face some of these court challenges, but at the end of the day, marketing freedom is the law of the land.
One concern I had heard was about this whole issue of rail transportation and the whole idea that the big three might crowd out smaller producers. What steps do you think that the government may have to take to make sure that doesn't happen at this open market?
Well, when we had the working group looking at all of that, Kevin, they came forward with the idea they didn't want to see regulation, they wanted to see commercial systems in place. We'll certainly give that a chance to foster and move forward. At the end of the day, we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that everybody has access to top quality shipments. We have a working group, crop logistics working group at Agriculture Canada that will feed into the rail freight review. That'll be coming up in the next weeks and months to make sure that they have the ability to sign commercial agreements and enforce those agreements.
And if it ain't, and if it turns out it's not, I'm trying to figure out if...
Well, I don't want to get into ifs. I know there's a lot of goodwill out there. In the meetings that I've attended or been part of, there's certainly a tremendous amount of acknowledgement that we all need each other in this, that there should be or can be no weak link in the chain. So I think everybody's up to this challenge. We'll push it forward.
Is regulation on the table though?
Well, it always has been. If it's required, we'll make sure that it's there. Hopefully it'll never have to be used, but sometimes you need a hammer in the toolkit when a wrench won't do it.
Minister, it's time for one more question.
With red tape regulations, farmers face a lot of those. What kinds of things are you hoping to be doing to sort of reduce some of the regulatory barriers?
Well, there's a number of layers of government that all have red tape. What we're asked trying to do is make sure that we can look where there's overlaps and where there's gaps and make sure that one environmental plan does the job, not three. Make sure that farmers aren't overburdened by. As farm business, like any other business, the more time you spend in your office chair filling out forms rather than orders, it's not time well spent.
And that applies to like grain, regulations as well.
Well, there's certainly good regulations and there's bad regulations. We've already discussed and campaigned on if I'm going to bring in a new regulation, I have to get rid of an old one so that we don't end up with a plethora that don't really hit the target anymore. And certainly for the first little while that'll be easy to do. A lot of them we've outgrown, we've moved beyond. So it's a matter of going back through, and we've got teams working on that right now.
Great, thanks.